Hi, I'm Skinny Cheeks. We just got the ESO Leadership's 2025 end of year letters to the community. Looks like multiple letters this time, not the studio director's letter only, like in the years past. So we got some, we've had some change in leadership over at ZOS. If y'all haven't kept up, the studio head is now Joe Burba. Game director is now Nick Giacomini. Executive producer is Susan Kath. So we're gonna see what they have to say. Let's get into it. All right. ESO game director Nick Giacomini. As another year in Tamriel comes to close, I want to start with a moment of honest reflection. This has been a challenging year. While we had high ambitions, we stumbled. Writhing Wall was not the experience that we wanted to deliver or that players deserved. Subclassing introduced and highlighted issues with class identity. Previously referred to this year as a transition year, yet I feel that there was not enough transition in meaningful ways. Players have been asking us to be more transparent and communicate better, to provide a more rewarding experience, to be more exciting, to address long-standing issues and pain points, to improve combat, class identity, and PvP, and generally make more investment in the core game experience instead of just chasing the next big thing. We hear you, we agree. That is, as spot on as you can get with all that, really. We've talked about change in the past, but there's been a disconnect with the words we've communicated and what we've released subsequently after those communications. He's owning up to it, at least. Absolutely. We're going to change that moving forward. We hope that you've seen the start of better communication from us, such as the recent class identity refresh deep dive. I covered this on YouTube as well if you haven't seen that one yet. This is not a temporary goal. We're going to focus more on the core game, transparency, and listening to and incorporating your feedback. It's the foundation of our work and the key to ESO's future. I've said this before, but ESO is nothing without you, our players, and we truly believe that by building this game with you, we can make the next decade of the Elder Scrolls Online the best one yet. We know actions speak louder than words, and we will be addressing a lot of this in more concrete detail on January 7th during our 2026 live stream reveal, so stay tuned. Not that far off for the 2026 reveal, eh? Got the public announcement of this now, so we will definitely be here covering that. But yeah, overall, pretty short letter, but very open and honest and just owning up to them falling short. I think it was short and sweet, and appreciate what he has to say here. And very much looking forward to January 7th. You get that reveal and to chat about that with everybody. All right, next up, executive producer Susan Kath. Talked a lot about 2025 as a transition year, and a great deal of that was going on behind the scenes over the last 12 months. The game is massive. Its ESO doesn't turn on a dime. Over the last year, we've had leadership changes throughout the studio, retooled the team and our development processes, and built out the new season's structure and content while planning out the next 5+ years of ESO. Wow. Okay. After 8 years of yearly chapter releases, that means rethinking nearly everything from the ground up. We're no strangers to hard work, and it has been roll the sleeves up and get our hands dirty levels of work, but the team is excited. We're all excited to move into this next era. So what are we focusing on next? That's what the 2026 reveal live stream on January 7th is all about, and we can't wait to put it in front of you and hear your thoughts. We'll have a lot to cover in the stream, and we'll also follow it up with additional blog posts, streams, and AMAs going deeper on all the big details. We'll also share more details in the following months on the topics we're only able to cover briefly in the show, such as the introduction of optional overland. Let me just start that over. We'll also share more details in the following months on the topics we're only able to cover briefly in the show, such as the introduction of optional overland difficulty modes that offer greater challenges and rewards. All right, so the live stream's main topics will be seasons, the new approach to ESO releases that replaces Content Pass, some of the new content we'll be introducing over the first few seasons. So not just an announcement of the next thing coming, but a longer roadmap ahead. Some of the new content, quality of life improvements, class and combat changes, PvP additions, and in-game event changes. And very importantly, how we're going to approach all this so that we can surprise and delight you with new additions while working to better incorporate your thoughts and feedback as we tackle reworks and improvements to our core features. We'll go into much greater detail in the 2026 reveal live stream, so I'll just wrap up my part in this letter by asking you to join us on January 7th. Please keep bringing us your questions, thoughts, and ideas. We're looking forward to hearing from you. I mean, I don't think there's really much to break down here. They are going forward, looking to give us a lot more insight further ahead of time, it seems like. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming that we're going to find out about very soon in the next couple weeks, next few weeks. So until then, we wait on January 7th, looks like. And then studio head Joe Burba. As we hope you have already started to see, communication with you is one of the first things about ESO that is changing, and those changes don't stop after January 7th. In 2026, the communication from us will be focused on the overall plan. It will get into more practical information about what we will be testing and when. With kinds of feedback we are looking for to help us iterate and what is changing based on that feedback. If you're reading this letter, chances are the things that truly excite you are learning the details of what we're doing and then testing them out so you can help us deliver fun things to the community. We may try some crazy things and we may not always get it 100% right, but what we always want to get right is that you feel heard and that our actions prove it. We appreciate your support every year, but especially so this year with all the changes in 2025 and the bumps that resulted. We found that focusing on the ESO fam motivated us and reminded us while we're all here to make and play great games with our friends. Have a great end of year. We'll see you January 7th. I mean, they all seem to kind of hint at the bumps along the way, but I think Nick really got into it the most and really took the most ownership of the current state of things. You know, while we had high ambitions, we stumbled. This was not the experience we wanted to deliver or that the players deserved. Subclassing introduced and highlighted issues with class identity. Like he really came and pointed out a lot of the big things that players were concerned about this year. You know, let's be honest, it was not a good year for ESO. 2025 was maybe the worst year ever for ESO. And yeah, they got to get that better. Like they have to fix that. They need to turn it around. And I'll be honest, seeing communication like this really gives me a lot more hope than the kind of communication we saw in the past from the previous leadership. The previous letters were always very let's pat ourselves on the back at what a great job we've been doing, and they always came across a little bit condescending. You know, the stuff from Matt Fyroor, I always got this feeling of him we know best. The players don't really know what they want. Matt always said this one thing in multiple interviews. He said this, so I know this was a core of how he felt because he brought it up so much. He always would say, yeah, players will often write one thing as feedback, but really their actions show us something else. And that always that bugged me that he said that, because how are you looking at our actions? What are you looking at? You're looking at your in-game data. Does that tell you why we're doing what we're doing? All that tells you is what we're doing. You know, that doesn't mean we are enjoying this path that we're taking within the game. There's multiple reasons people could be doing things. Efficiency, just this is the path to the best outcome, whether we specifically enjoy this path or not. This is just like clearly the best way to go from a power standpoint or an efficiency standpoint. Like, it doesn't always mean we're enjoying it. Like, you could look at the data from when the Harpooners came out and come to a conclusion that, you know, players really love spending time in Shadowfen. They're really hanging out there a lot. But that was one of the worst times I've ever experienced in ESO, was farming that stupid lead. And so I don't know, it always came across as really condescending when he'd say stuff like that. It's like, the players, we know what we want. We know what we want right now. And it is your job as developers to keep up with that. You need to keep up with what we want now. Now, will what we want now be the same as what we want 3 years from now? Maybe not. Probably not. But again, that's your job to keep up with that and keep moving us forward in that direction we need to go. You know, as a group of gamers, as a community that shares a lot of the same sentiment towards the game, it's the job of the developers to latch onto that and to keep up with it. And I've never felt like with ZOS that was at the core of what they wanted. It always felt like it's what they wanted to do, what they wanted to do, and they knew best, and the players didn't really know what they wanted. And that's such a bad, you know, WoW struggled with that in the past as well, and really saw their numbers drop from it. And then they actually figured a lot of that out and turned it around by not doing that. And from what I'm seeing now, this could be the start of that with ESO, and I really hope it is, you know, because I love this game. It has a very special place in my heart, and I'm really sad that it's where it is right now in 2025. You know, the population has just been going down year after year since 2021, really. And if it keeps going down, well, not many of us are going to be sitting here talking about it. There's already many that are not sitting here talking about it with us anymore, because they've gone on to do other things because of the direction the game has been going. So, all that said, I have optimism for next year. I am hopeful. If we were getting an end of year letter right now from Matt Firor and like nothing had changed internally at ZOS, I might not even be posting a video about it. Like, I think I would have fully checked out by now, given how this year went. But this is giving me hope, and I'm really excited to see January 7th. We're going to get to hop in and check out the reveal for not just the next update, but the first few seasons. So it looks like our updates are now called seasons as well. So we'll see what all that means. But yeah, I think... I do think good stuff is coming. I think it's going to be a learning process. I don't think everything is going to be fixed in 2026. I think they have just way too many things that need to be fixed for that to happen. But if 2026 tackles a big chunk of those things, and it's really looking like, hey, they're committed to getting through it as time goes on, then I think ESO has a bright future ahead. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.